Before we begin our speech about net neutrality, I want to present you guys a hypothetical situation. Imagine there are two people and each of them uses the internet. Person A uses the internet once every few weeks to browse around for information, stuff like Wikipedia, Google, or stuff like that. However, for person B, they use the computer daily and watch a lot of movies on sites like Netflix, Hulu, and also play a lot of games like League of Legends, Smite, or World of Warcraft. These things require a heavy amount of internet connection. Even though person B uses the internet more often than person A, with net neutrality, both people are able to use the internet however they see fit without any limitations or restrictions. Net neutrality is one of the main reasons why we are able to freely access the internet without any influences or control from the internet service providers or even the government. This is why we are supporting to keep net neutrality alive and active, ensure our freedom to use the internet however we see fit for many generations to come. Unfortunately, if net neutrality no longer exists, then consumers and any people that use the internet will be severely affected. With net neutrality gone, internet companies can dictate and manipulate our internet usages.
Everyone who uses the internet should be able to have equal access to the web, but without net neutrality, we won't have this kind of privilege any longer. The main problem is that anyone who surfs the web will be affected because internet service providers can control what you stream on the internet and set premium prices on different websites as well. In the article posted on January 15, 2014 titled Web 3.0 What the Internet Could Look Like Without Net Neutrality, Betty Isaacson, a technology writer for the Huffington Post and a Harvard University graduate, gives us a few ways on how the internet could change without net neutrality in play. Rich companies who are able to pay internet service providers more money will get their content delivered faster, while other companies who are not able to pay or not willing to will be forced to go through with slower delivery content. There could also be two different types of webs for poor and rich customers. Since internet service providers can now charge more money for more accessibility to different sites and internet connection, people who are willing to pay the extra cash can have this luxury. Those who choose otherwise, however, will only be able to stream certain websites. We shouldn't be paying more money to use certain sites because even if companies earn more income, users will be the ones who pay the price.
Net neutrality's main flaw falls under a type of structural inherency, where its lack of enforcement and protection is the reason why it's being targeted by the internet providers. Internet providers are currently finding ways through the legal system that are actually loopholes that prevent them from being regulated by the FCC. In an article by the NPR by Elsie Hu published in January 14, 2014, titled Feds Can't Enforce Net Neutrality, What This Means for You, she speaks about the rulings between the trial that the FCC and Verizon had. According to Chapter 47, Section 2 of the Code of Federal Regulations, common carrier groups are not allowed to discriminate pay or service among their customers. The key point in the article occurred when this statement was made, and I quote, "Given that the Commission has chosen to classify broadband providers in a manner that exempts them from treatment as common carriers, the Communications Act expressly prohibits Commission from nonetheless regulating them as such. Because the Commission has failed to establish the anti-discrimination and anti-blocking rules do not per se common carrier obligations, we vacate those portions of the open internet order. This means that broadband providers are exempt from the regulation the FCC conducts, allowing internet service providers to freely give what type of service and what type of content they give to their customers. Netflix, for example, has already made a deal with Comcast to maintain and also increase the type of data streaming that their Netflix service provides them. The only way to actually deal with this issue is to take legal action.
One legal action is to take part in online petition. Petitions, especially online petitions, work because social media tools are used to get the word out and recruit supporters. Online petitions also give rise to Slackovists to do more than they would usually do. Normally, they would just spread the news on Facebook and Twitter, but by doing online petitions, they could actually take action by signing their names for the cases that they support. an online petition website called change.org, which is the #1 online petition website in the world, has won many different issues such as teenagers convincing Gatorade to remove potentially dangerous chemicals to a son who won an insurance case for his mom with a cancer that happened on February 2014. The cancer insurance case alone had over 180,000 supporters, which is why the son was able to win the case. As of date, there are more than 63 million users on change.org, and over 15,000 new campaigns are opened every month. One case that happened on March 16, 2012, Emily Holcup, a 15-year-old nonverbal autistic girl with a mental capacity of a 2 or 3-year-old, was charged because she slapped her teacher. Due to her condition, this charge was not reasonable. When her friend heard about this news, she went to change.org and opened the petition. A few days later, the case had over 1,200 petitioners and supporters of this case. And due to these 1,200 supporters, the charge was dropped. So overall, online petitions actually work.
With net neutrality gone, our access to the internet will be severely altered. Net neutrality gives consumers protection against internet service providers. An example of this protection is that internet service providers can upcharge consumers a fee to use certain internet access or even throttle data connection speeds. Net neutrality gives people equal access to the internet with a fair and fixed price. With no active method in enforcing net neutrality, internet service providers such as Verizon can charge an exuberant fee on data-heavy services like Netflix or Hulu. Taking legal measures such as signing petitions to protect net neutrality can even make a difference from whether net neutrality remains a reality or is trampled upon by greed and extortion. With high internet usage being a habit in our daily lives, with the absence of net neutrality, either we silently internet service providers siphon more money than needed for access to internet, or we take actions to prevent the disappearance of net neutrality.